Welcome to my channel. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. My name is Alexandria. I am the millennial nursepreneur. I am a health content writer by night and a nurse scientist by day. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the benefits of being a freelance writer. And I really think this is important to talk about because there aren't a lot of people who are doing freelance writing. At least there aren't a ton of nurses or other healthcare professionals who are doing freelance writing. And if they are, a lot of people aren't sharing the information. They're not getting out on social media and really kind of letting people know outside of their own circles what this is. So I want to talk to you guys about the benefits of being a freelance writer, and I have notes. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So I've been off the floor now for about 3 years. I've been a registered nurse since 2017, and I was on the floor, on the hospital floor until about 2020, maybe 6, 7, 8 months into COVID. I decided it was time to walk away. I had already known before then that I didn't want to retire on the floor. I actually thought I was going to go back to school to be a nurse practitioner, but I applied to one school and they said no. So I said, okay, I like research anyway. So I went into research, and while I was on my journey to obtain my PhD, I decided that I was really missing the patient education piece from working on the floor, and I wanted to give back to my community or the community at large in some way as it relates to patient education about everyday medical conditions that really truly can be taken care of from home with the right knowledge, the right resources, the right people around you. So I'm going to talk about some of the benefits of being a freelance writer. So the first one for me really is tied into that patient education piece. Being a freelance writer, my knowledge, my education, and my way of teaching stretches so much further and wider than it would if I were still working on the floor. And that's not to say that working on the floor is not enough. It absolutely is. However, if you are interested in reaching a larger audience, health content writing may be for you, because you can educate more people with one single article or one single video that is disseminated to the masses. And this is really important when we're talking about the overwhelming burden or the experiences and the amount of need that there is for healthcare providers when a medical condition that has just gone uncontrolled for so long becomes a problem that requires people to go into the emergency room and be admitted. Freelance writing is a great way to reach those people who are actively looking for information on how to live with specific medical conditions, and that is my contribution to the public. Besides that, there are a bunch of other reasons that I really love being a content writer, and one of those is that I get to choose who I work with. So I do have a blog that I use to talk about freelance writing, but then I also write health content for other clients that I have. And I love that ability to just choose who I work with. You will find, if you decide to go into freelance writing, that there are a million billion different companies who would love, 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 love for you to write for them, especially if you have a background in healthcare. And, you know, this is really important because the more people who want to work with you, you will find that not every relationship is of benefit to you or really meets some of your, most innermost core values. So I love that I get to choose who I work with. It makes my days just so much lighter and fluffier, if I'm being honest. One of the things that I sometimes was struggling with transitioning out of um, hospital and into more of a typical 9 to 5 was that 9 to 5 meant Monday through Friday. Well, with content writing, it really doesn't feel like that, because the work that I'm doing, I get to do it on my terms, and I get to work with who I want to work with. So that's benefit number, I think, 2. The next thing is that I became a business owner out of being a freelance writer. So obviously, if you're working for pay, you'll have to decide whether or not you want to be a business owner. And for tax purposes, that may be the route that you go. You may decide to be a business owner, or you may decide that you want to not have that pressure, and you go work directly for a company that considers you an employee and not a contracted employee. Contracted employees are like freelance writing or writers. We get a 1099 at the end of the year. So we are responsible for taking out our taxes and paying our health insurance, but there's a lot of flexibility with that too. And so, I also have my MBA, my master's in business administration. Way before I decided to become a nurse, I decided I was going to go and get an MBA and had no idea what the hell I was going to do with it. And I was sitting on it for about 10 years before I finally decided to use it. And what better way to use it when I've got this background in nursing and I can do something that is going to help other people. Another benefit is that I get to set my pay rates, and this is for most every freelance writer. Freelance is the operative word there, meaning that you get to choose how much you're going to charge someone to write an assignment for them. Freelance writing is not the easiest thing, so that's why there is always a need for people to come in and write these articles that may or may not be super easy or require more attention and experience and more of a healthcare background. But with that, I get to set my rates. So I think I mentioned in another video that it took me a while to kind of get my footing with that, and I'm here now. I know exactly what I'm worth. But that's the benefit of another benefit of being a freelance writer, is that you get to choose your rates. This is my favorite, and I know this is going to hit home. One of the benefits of being a freelance writer, no denied PTO. Some of y'all nurses, some of y'all healthcare workers, some of y'all who have not even gotten your license in healthcare yet know exactly what I'm talking about. It is not uncommon at all to work for a hospital that tells you that you have all of these hours or days set aside for PTO just for you to put in a request for it and be denied. It is not unheard of at all. And, that's one thing I don't miss, is that worry about whether or not I'm going to be able to take that vacation that I know I've already bought a plane ticket for, I've already got a hotel and a car for, and I still haven't heard back from my employer about whether or not I can even go. I don't miss that. So not having denied PTO, that's so close to the top of the list of reasons why you should definitely think about being a freelance writer. No nights and weekends unless you want to. So again, I am a freelance writer who chooses to have a day job. By the way, you can definitely do this work and do it from a full-time rate. I don't recommend that when you're starting out. I have chosen not to do freelance writing full-time, and that's really a personal decision. I'm at a place in my life right now where I don't want to really give anything a full-fledged 40 hours a week. but you totally can. And so since I am still working a day job that does not require me to also work 40 hours a week, thank you, but it does take up some of my time and a good chunk of my daytime. So I typically will work nights and weekends for clients as needed, but it's not every night, it's not every weekend, and it really just varies on me. If I decide that there's a month where I just don't want to take any assignments, I don't have to. And guess what? I've got all of my nights and weekends off to go on a date night, to get to bed early, to go somewhere for the weekend and not worry about whether or not I had an assignment that was due. Another benefit is the opportunity for different business ventures. So it's very easy to start in freelance writing and find yourself quickly getting opportunities from clients to be an editor, or to be a reviewer, or to create the content for a website. And then from there, expansion is just, it's almost inevitable. You can decide to be a course writer or course creator with your writing skills, because remember, your writing skills, they're transferable to other things. You don't have to just stay in health content writing if you don't want to. And even if you do, there are plenty of companies out there who are writing content in different forms, in the forms of books and courses and lesson plans. And they're always looking for other healthcare professionals to help them either write the content or review it. Then you also may find yourself in opportunities where you decide that you want to write your own book or create your own course. These are all things that can generate additional streams of income for you. So if you're kind of worried about freelance writing being something that's boring or doesn't give a lot of opportunities to other things, I would definitely recommend that you try it first, because there will be a lot of opportunities, especially the longer you stick with it. And this is coming from someone who started their business in 2022. So the last benefit that I think adds on to the most recent benefit that I just mentioned is that there's really no ceiling with how much money you can make. I think some people really kind of think about freelance writing as, oh, like, I'll write one article a week, oh, I'll write one article a month. And that's a great place to start. But also understand that, again, as you decide to develop your skills in other arenas, whether it's in course creation, in content writing for books, and in reviewing, in being an author, writing your own books, you're gonna find, or being an editor or reviewer for clients, you're gonna find that there's really no ceiling with how much money you can make. And that is one thing that you can't necessarily say about working on the hospital floor. In addition to being able to work from wherever you want, whenever you want, there are just certain things that freelance writing offers that a hospital setting or a traditional 9-to-5 may not be able to offer you. So lots to think about in this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Millennial Nursepreneur, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon.